Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, where we have finally seen the footage that Officer Meekins was talking about. We have said that there's a contradiction in it. I don't know what it is, but I've got a couple of things I want to look at. I don't know if we're going to get to see it again, or if we're going to look at it through the evidence screen. He would want me to point it out.
Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence.
Okay, so maybe
I will now play the security tape.
Okay, cool, it's going to play it again.
Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of.
I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Okay, just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing.
Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video.
How did this guy ever become a police officer?
Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman?
Okay, so, hang on. J rewind. Backspace is pause. I just want to sort of figure out how this works. So, to rewind is J, to pause is backspace, and then fast forward is enter, and present is E. Okay, so one thing I wanted to look at was this, whether this was snapped off when the tape first came around, or whether it got quickly taped back on if it was used in the murder in some way. Does not appear that's the case. Someone else was asking about the lockers. So this is Gumshoe's locker here. Now if we rewind, is the cloth hanging out? It is not hanging out of the locker. So obviously after Meekins was attacked, someone shoved something in, I think it's the top left locker. So that could be the contradiction, right? Now, we've got the lockers here. So let's go. So here's the guy. Now, is the thing hanging out the locker now? No, it isn't. So I'm theorising that it's the coat that whoever this imposter is wearing gets jammed into that locker. Okay, so that thing falls out. There's like these little things above the lockers. Here comes Meekins. Is it... Okay, it's still not hanging out, so I think it's the coat that this person's wearing is what gets shoved into that locker. So the question is, whose locker is that? Okay, there's the thing. The locker is... So yeah, there's the bloody coat, which I think this person jams into what... I think it's this locker here when they go past. The thing is, they must crawl underneath to get there, though, and the locker's still open. So how did they open the locker? That's the question. Because the lockers are fingerprint ID'd, right? Yeah, see, now the cloth's there, so that is what happens. Okay, are we looping back round? I think we are. Yeah, see, look, here. This is already lit up. So is there a reason for that? I'm going to present that. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins.
Sir, do you mean me, sir?
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the locker is released. Yeah, we saw that when we got Gumshoe to open his one, right?
According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Because it was already unlocked before the person came and opened it. See, the person comes along in a minute, the locker is already unlocked. So that person wouldn't need to be Detective Goodman or have Goodman's fingerprint to unlock the locker because it's already unlocked. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. The creepy mascot and the music really does change the vibe of this whole moment, doesn't it? It's meant to be like a very serious tape of someone getting murdered, and all we can hear is this like weird little sort of carnival music. Here, notice the light.
What's this? It's already lit.
Precisely my point, Your Honour. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah! He just like choke himself with something there.
Order, order, what's the meaning of this?
It's very simple, Your Honour. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked.
Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this.
That's not likely, Your Honour. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction.
Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut.
He finally gets it! At long last, he's understood.
So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation?
Me, Your Honour?
Yes, why wasn't the locker locked?
Me, Your Honour? ... Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jammed the system sensor? Oh, I bet that's that thing that fell out. Something jammed the sensor. Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. Yeah, it's going to be that thing that falls out.
Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this.
Okay, so, let's fast forward. Here he comes. So, when he, it's a glove. Is it a glove? Let's go back like frame by frame. Right, there we go. This thing. I think it's a glove. I thought it was a piece of paper, but it looks like a glove. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. I quite like this whole reviewing an evidence tape thing as a mechanic in the trial. It's very good. We've obviously never done anything like this before, but I am enjoying it, like manipulating the tape to get to what we want.
What's this? Something white fell out of the locker.
But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out of doors. Things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my car door, sir. What is he talking about? We can't be sure the item was completely inside the locker to begin with.
What do you mean?
The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door?
Inserted?
Yeah. So somebody maybe did that earlier and then came back. Maybe they like quickly slipped whatever that was, the glove or something in there to jam the locker door open so they could come back and open it when the coast was clear. The question is, whose is that top left locker? Did we figure out who that was? Was that the one that we fingerprinted? So I think it was, wasn't it? And it didn't it come back as Marshall? So I wonder if Marshall is the one in the coat. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me.
But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door.
Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator.
Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene.
There just might have been something that fits the description. But, sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I've finally got this figured out.
Very well. Will the defence please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door?
Okay, I think it's a glove. But do we have a glove? Yes, that. The SL9 glove. Rubber glove. It's that. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove.
But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker.
It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins?
Sir! It would appear so, sir!
Why is he choking himself with that?
Order, order, order! So, are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman?
Do not be misled, Your Honour.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
The defence has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this.
What?
Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Meekins?
Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. ... Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir.
This is a joke. Very well, begin your testimony.
Okay, another testimony. Mystery Man 2, okay. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card.
Ah, well, again, that just means somebody could have used his card. An ID card record, I see.
I have the ID card record right here, Your Honour.
Ah, so...
The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim.
Just before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room?
This particular evidence room is only used for storing special cases.
Special cases?
Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end.
Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference.
There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon.
Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination.
Okay. So, obviously we're just going to press everything to start with. There's one other thing that proves the man that was Detective Goodman. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you?
Yes, sir, solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir.
Couldn't he just use his right hand for that?
Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second.
To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards?
Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. If I keep it here, so I won't even forget it.
Ever forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? ...
Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time, it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me.
Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this.
Please proceed with your testimony.
When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to.
Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman.
What's the matter?
According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here.
So it is, Your Honour. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence. Mummy, is that man in blue a murderer? Shh, don't stare at him. You've got the wrong colour, kid.
It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today.
I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with this cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, it must be so difficult for him. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you.
Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir.
Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. ...
Maybe he just panicked.
Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we've got. Okay, so we're back to the beginning again. Alright, so we're going to have to present something which contradicts the whole ID card thing, but we will do that in the next episode. So as always, thank you very much for watching. A big thank you to my patrons, Arcades Games, Wayne Nate, Paul from the Phantom Fellows, Lyle, Hobo, Numinous, Kumadim, Paulione, Flossie the Sheep, JohnCon555, Chrissy, Paul James, and Zolties, and I'll see you next time.